the 15 quart Sterilite Clearview latch and our new Dollar Tree tub. Fits perfectly in the back half, just like that. What's going on YouTube? Jason here, more Mixology. Doing a short video today on the hides that you see in all of our videos in the tubs and that. A lot of you guys have been asking about it. We finally got around to getting it done. And so we're gonna show you real quick how to make them. They're super simple. Just another quick little DIY project to make your racks look good and give some of the snakes a little bit more security, especially some of the problem feeders or ones that may be a little bit tub defensive. They like having that hide. They can get away from you. You can get in, change the water, and clean for the most part without them even knowing you're there. So super awesome design. Before we do though, I don't know, some of you guys have seen on Instagram, we just got these done. So these are the new stickers. Super nice, high quality vinyl, great print. We kind of combined the two designs that we had originally. I had a lot of people tell me that they liked the round better than the oblong because they're easier to put on things, they're not quite as big. And then we went back to the wood grain, that's kind of our thing anyway. So yeah, these are on the website. I gotta order a bunch more anyway, so if you order it might be a little, maybe a few days before we can get them, but these are on the website, $3. They're super nice quality. But yeah, new stickers there. So, as for the hides, everything I've done when it comes to the tubs and that is all DIY. Obviously the racks are DIY and the tubs, or the hides are. The tubs are not. For those of you that don't know, we use, so these two racks here are designed around these tubs and these tubs. And so what we have here is, these are the Sterilite. They're the actual product name, I guess, is called the Clearview latch. I in particular use the purple latch. They are absolutely identical to the ones you can get with like a teal color latch, or I don't know if they, or kind of a reddish color, I don't know. They have a bunch of different colors. These ones in particular come from Target. That's where I get all of my tubs so that I can keep them consistent, because every store has a little bit different variant. I'll put the product number, the actual Sterilite number for these up here so you can see which one this is. But yeah, so this is the 15 quart, and I get mine, obviously it comes with the lids, but I do keep the lids for all of them. It makes it super easy for transport if we need to take the snakes somewhere, or we need to take them all out so we can move or clean the racks or whatever. But it also, these racks, the way that the spacing works up here above every tub, they fit with the lids on them. So if you have like a little bit of stuck shed, or for whatever reason one specific animal needs a little bit higher humidity area for whatnot, you can put the lid on and then put them back in the rack, and it works great. I've done that with a few of them, and you put the lid on, 3 days, 2-3 days, gets to a little bit higher humidity, everything works great, comes out nice. So the 15 quart and the 32 quart, obviously you can see the size difference here. It's designed so that, as you can tell, 2 15s, or down, I don't know if you can see the ones on the bottom, 132. So same thing, product number for this one up here, lids, the whole 9 yards. So I've been really happy with these. They've got a relatively flat bottom. They don't have a bunch of different shape sizes of ridges and whatnot. So it seems to be pretty evenly heating, over the hot spot and whatnot. So yeah, 32s and 15s. So now, the hides that I put in. The easiest way that I have found to do this, because the commercially available hides are just kind of expensive in my opinion, and the effect is exactly the same. This one's just kind of dusty because I haven't done anything with it yet. But for the 15, or the little one, and I'll show you when we get them in there. For the little, for the 15 quart, I use these pails. They're just little buckets of some kind. They're not crazy big, you can tell perspective wise, but I use these pails from the Dollar Tree, specifically the Dollar Tree, because that's what we have here in town. They're obviously $1, and I cut them down just below the handle, and I'll do that here in a second. And then I cut in a little, you know, door, so to speak. And when I was on Reptichip, I will tell you, when I was using Reptichip in all the tubs, I was having a hard time keeping the humidity down. And for whatever reason, this would trap a bunch of humidity in it. So what I would do is I would drill 4 very small holes in the top to kind of let it air out a little bit. They will get a little bit of condensation inside, but again, not a huge deal. And so yeah, I'll cut this one down in a minute and show you how we do it. For the 32, for the big one, I just started doing this a few weeks ago because I have a couple that are really shy in the clear tubs. This is why I like the Freedom Breeder tubs, the gray ones, because they can't see you, so you don't have to worry about it being scary, I guess, for them. But for the clear tubs, also from the Dollar Tree, bigger buckets, about the same depth, roughly. I mean, they're pretty close. But I like the round shape for these. The square shape fits perfectly this way, fits perfectly across the back of the tub, and I'll show you that in a second. The round one, because the tub's much larger, can kind of be moved around where they want it. But I've noticed I've got a few that are about 1,200 grams or so, and it's still growing, and they curl up under this perfectly. So if I do have to leave females in those because I don't have enough of the gray tubs or whatever, I'm sure they could even lay eggs under these, in all honesty. So same thing, Dollar Tree, big round totes. So we'll cut those in a second. I do want to show you one more though. We're planning our hatchling wall, which is actually behind where you are right now. It's behind where the camera will go. In another video, I don't know if it's gonna be next week or not, in another video, you'll see we're gonna be turning the room around, changing some things up. I'll give you a little sneak peek right here. The corner of this room that I've neglected to show on camera had a bunch of storage and computer stuff and a bunch of stuff that had nothing to do with snakes. Cleaned all that out. As you know, the rats over here, but we've changed it, and that corner now has the rat racks in it. Super clean, super easy to manage now. They kind of get their own little ecosystem in that corner for cooler temperatures and that. So what used to be over here as the rat racks is a surprise. I'm not going to show you yet, but we got big plans for that side. And then obviously the hatchlings will be on the wall behind you, and we'll document all that as we do. But the hatchling tubs, the way we're going to do it, to move you guys just a second here. That one doesn't come out. The way we're going to do the hatchling tubs are, I'm going to build all the racks for those as well, obviously, and we'll do a video on that build. But the 6-quart shoebox, sterilized shoebox, it's like the most common hatchling tub out there. I've got hides for those too. So these also came from the Dollar Tree. I don't have any more to cut, so this is just gonna have to be a show and tell. These come in a pack of 5, I believe it is, for $1, a little tiny one. And I just left the handles as it was, cut a little, there we go, cut a little door in the front, and it works perfect. So all of my hatchlings will have a hide as well, every one of them. When the racks are done, I think we're gonna have somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 of those tubs, and I've got about half of the hides done already, ready to go. So yeah, Dollar Tree, it's the way to go. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm gonna cut one of these real quick and show you what we do and put it in, and that'll be it for the day. So basically when I go to cut these, I don't know if you'll be able to tell on the, there we go, on the camera. So there's these ridges, if you get these specific ones, there's these ridges in here. And I typically just go to the last ridge closest to the rim, which also happens to be the last ridge, or the first ridge below the handle. And the easiest way I do this is just with a box knife. In all fairness, be careful doing this. You can do it with scissors. I just tend to get a more straight, even cut with the box knife. So all I'm gonna do is just cut just like this along that line. Don't try, if you're gonna use a box knife or whatever, don't try to push all the way through the first time because you'll break it. These are actually kind of flimsy and you'll crack it and you'll put a big crack in there. So just scar it once, and then when you go through the second time, it should break in just like that. Make sure you get it all. And then we're gonna go around, do all 3 sets. And then when I get to the corners here, obviously you can tell they're split, but the corners aren't done. This is just a really quick little, like that, pops it off. That one actually went all the way around. And then last corner there. So now, we got rid of the rim, don't need that anymore. Then we're gonna take just a pair of scissors, unless you're using the scissors already, obviously. And because I'm OCD about this, you'll notice in all of our tubs, including the hatchlings, the window or the little door is always on the right side. I don't know why, that's what I started with. So we're gonna take, and just kind of towards the edge, just cut up like this, do a little window. You know, you can make it any shape you want. You can make it as big or as little as you want, no issue there. Doesn't have to be anything special. And then obviously I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna cut the corners a little bit, just so there's no sharp edges on here. So we'll cut that corner, cut this corner. So that's what you end up with, just a little door, rounded corners. But we're not done. Gotta make sure that everybody is completely safe. So after I do that, you'll notice when you cut yours that it might be a little bit rough in some certain spots. We got a spot here I need to clean up. There we go. So I take a lighter, and so you can see what we're doing here. I take a lighter and just go just like this along the edge. Don't need to hold it for very long. And that's all this is gonna do is just melt away that sharp edge and make it nice and smooth. If you can't cut yourself, you can't cut them. So just do this all the way around real quick. Okay, and just like that, we got another hide. Again, nice and smooth all the way around. If you can run your fingers around and it's not rough and it's not cutting you, you're good to go. So this hide fits perfectly. Get rid of this lid here. The 15 quart Sterilite Clearview latch and our new Dollar Tree tub fits perfectly in the back half. Just like that. So this entire set here costs $5, I think. I'm pretty sure these tubs are $3.99, and then obviously $1 for the hide. So there's a $5 solution right there for anything from, you know, 150 grams to about 750 grams is where I start moving my snakes up. 700 to 800 grams or so. Unless if you move them up to a bigger one they don't eat, I'll actually bring them back and put them in these and they'll do fine. So super versatile, super easy. The big tub for the 32 is exactly the same. You're just gonna want to, this one I actually do cut with scissors because it's round, so it's super easy. I'm not gonna cut this one because I don't need it yet. But yeah, so just same thing on the ridges, top ridge here, run the scissors all the way around and then just cut in a little hole, and that's what you end up with. So let me show you a couple. I mean, you've seen these before, but I'll show you a couple anyway in the tubs. So as you can see, 15 quart tub, our little hide in the back fits perfectly back there, and they absolutely love the space. They can hide underneath it. And this is kind of what I was talking about. If they're in like this, you know, you can't even see them. You can kind of peek in, but you can't really see them, so I can reach in here, I can pull the water out, fill, change it, clean. Obviously if I need to clean the paper and whatnot, I gotta take them out completely. But yeah, it works super well. And then on the big ones, these are the 32s, same thing here. So Kevin's actually underneath his, and he's about 1,000 grams now, and fits under there. He's just all, so you can see how it's all sprawled out. I interrupted him, but yeah, they work really, really well. And then one of the cool bonus features, this was completely by mistake actually. Let's take that one that we just made. I found out, See if I can do this without upsetting anyone. We'll use Elsa here because she's pretty friendly. These are the Freedom Breeder FB40 gray tubs with the water dish. So I found out that if you do, for whatever reason, need a hide in these, I'll use it up here. These fit in the Freedom Breeder tub as well. So if I needed back there, like if I'm gonna move a smaller girl up, let's say I'm gonna move somebody up that's 600, 700, 800 grams or so, that's not 1,500 grams like my girl Elsa here, blew through the 1,500 gram wall, still eats like a champ. But if I'm gonna move someone smaller up that doesn't quite feel so secure yet, this tub, this hide fits perfectly, and put it in the back, good to go. Not as necessary in the Freedom Breeder tub because they're opaque and they're dark, obviously, and they're narrow. That's one of the things that seems to work really well about those tubs, is since they're not real wide, they can feel nice and secure. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Real quick video. Like I said, we're gonna be doing a rearrange of the room. My wife and I have talked about the orange color, and I think we're gonna go overboard on it, so that'll be fun. We'll bring you along when we do the update on this side and the building of the hatchling racks. There is something going over here that we're not talking about yet, so I'm pretty excited about that. With that update of the room is going to come the build logs for these. That's the next step here. After a lot of back and forth figuring out what we need, we're going to build 2 more of the 10 high 40s, and then we're going to build the hatchling wall. I am going to still build a 6 high 1532 combo for to add to my quarantine area. So that build is coming, and it will be on the website, so you guys can reference that. And then obviously the 10 high 40 is coming, and you can reference that one as well. So we'll get all those done. Another incubator build coming up. I picked up another cooler, so we're going to do that video on doing a DUI incubator out of a former refrigerator cooler. And I think that's about it for now. If you guys have any questions at all, any suggestions, any input, in the comments, drop them down there. Send me a message on Instagram or Facebook @Mixology. Tag us in your builds, hashtag Martini Snake, obviously, whether it's for racks like these or rat racks. And we're getting ready. We're getting real close to egg season, or not egg, excuse me, to breeding season. So yeah, real excited about that. And that'll do it for this week. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks, guys.